Hey, welcome back to Supercharged Fridays. This is, I think, 176 weeks we're going live. Welcome to the Supercharged headquarters, aka my home. I hope you're having a lovely Friday. If you're joining me live, say hi in the comments so I know you're watching me. I hope you like the ridiculous getup. It's one of those days. I did not wash my hair. I didn't feel like washing it. I couldn't be bothered. So what do you do when you have a bad hair day? You put on a hat. That's what you can do if you work from home. How is it going? Can I help you with anything? If we haven't met before, where have you been? I'm happy to be here. My name is Sonal Behel. I'm a career strategist and a former HR director, and I help people who are going through career transition. And my specialty is job search. And I do this by helping people one on one. I have individual coaching programs. There's a group coaching program. There's individual. There's not individual. There's digital courses, short, easy ebooks with scripts, all of the good stuff. So welcome. I'm happy that you guys are joining. Thank you for joining me live. No comment. Good morning, Dan Roth. It's early morning. I'm guessing your twins didn't let you sleep. Tejas, that's very kind. Thank you for being here and for joining live. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. No time like the present. Bring your questions, something that's bothering you. I don't have all the answers. I have opinions, I have perspectives, and I try to be as, not try, I tend to be as neutral and objective as possible. So I do have certain points of view which I'm happy to share, and hopefully they will help you as well. And if you were not here last week, I highly recommend you go back to previous week's Supercharged Fridays and catch the live stream I did with my friend Risto right here, who is from Finland. And we talked about why it is the world's happiest country for 7 years in a row, and what can we learn from the Finns that we can apply in our own career. It was a very deep, thoughtful episode, and Risto came full guns blazing, completely prepared, brought his A game. So hopefully you found that valuable. If you didn't watch that, definitely catch the replay. Risto's amazing. So yeah, thank you for being here, Risto. I know you got 3 puppies at home, so you got your more than your hands full. And I can see the questions are coming. You know what? Without further ado, I plan to be here for about 50, I always say that 15, 20 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. Let's see. Good morning, Ellen. It's great to see you. Welcome. Ellen is somebody I met at the INSEAD Fontainebleau campus, and hopefully maybe see you back there soon at some point. I'm going to be back there. So I think that's a good thing I just remembered. So 2 Fridays from now, I will be smack in the middle of sessions at the INSEAD Fontainebleau campus. And yeah, let's talk about, we did this last year as well. If you have questions, particularly education related, that would be a great time to ask about. Should I do a bachelor? Should I do a master's? Should I do a postdoc? It was a really fun session, and we're going to get into it as well. You're welcome, Abhishek. Thank you for being here. Let us get into the questions. If I'm not mistaken, the first question came in from, drumroll, Vipin Kumar. Hey, Vipin. So the question is as follows. Should we let HR know what is our current cost to company, our current salary, especially when they call for the very first time? You know, Vipin, there's many colors here. If you see the advice from many career coaches, particularly career coaches in North America, they don't like this question. And they, in fact, come from a point that if you happen to be low on the salary front, and if they know your salary, then it will keep you low for a long time. And I see exactly where that's coming from. Particularly if you're marginalized, if you're a woman, and let's say you're in India, you come from a background where you didn't have the same advantages and privileges that the majority of the people had, right? So I do understand where this is coming from. Having said that, we have to be careful that when we give answers, we don't come across as arrogant, cocky, and abrasive, or just combative. So make sure that if you don't, firstly, I don't think it really matters how much you're earning today. The only reason they ask you this is they want to make sure you're not too expensive. So they're not going to waste their time. I completely understand that, and you understand that as well. If you feel comfortable sharing it, share it. If you don't feel comfortable sharing, then what I recommend you do is you can focus on expected salary. You can focus on expected salary, and we can take it from there. So hopefully this is helpful to you. And good luck with everything. How do I negotiate while I'm giving interview? So there's so many points on negotiation. I don't know if you have a specific question. There's so many videos I have on salary negotiation. And you can never be too early when it comes to negotiation. So take advantage of all the free content I have on my YouTube channel. And if you still have questions about negotiations, come back here. The official part of the negotiation tends to start when you have an offer on the table. The unofficial part starts pretty much like from the very first touch point. How do you position yourself? How do you present yourself? And from the very first time that they have interacted with you, which is, on email or whatever, that you come across as someone that they desire, then it makes negotiations much easier, right? Good luck. All right. Hey, thanks, Mayank. I'm glad. If you like the podcast, I'm so happy that you're a listener. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe and leave me a review, because podcasts work this way. The more people who review it, the more it is seen by more people. And it's completely free. I'm doing this all because I love doing this. So would appreciate your, the testimonial. That would go a long way. I'm sorry to hear this, Dan. I hope it gets a little bit better. Thank you guys for tuning in. And you guys are amazing. So grateful that you're here. So grateful that you're here. And I'm going to now quickly get into some questions. Hi, Aisha. I got some. Please talk about annual salary conversations with managers. The best time to talk about salary upgrade and promotion is not during the performance appraisal process, which is at the same time that you're expecting it, because it's a bit late for that. The best time to ask is when you don't really need it. And you're coming from a place of growth and learning and approaching it as, hey, boss, whatever his or her name is, I'd love to grow. And I have all these goals. And share your goals with your manager if you have that relationship. And then work backwards and ask your manager's help on what are some steps that you can do to get there. This firstly sends a signal to your manager that you are someone who's thinking about your future. And you've made it a little bit easier for them. So they are very happy to give you advice. So, and have periodic touch points on this. So you're not like, imagine out of the blue, right? Let's say someone comes to your front door and wants to sell you, I don't know, not something like a car, but something like, let's say a coffee maker, right? You're not going to decide like right away. And a salary increase is a pretty big expense for the company as well. Who decides these things? Usually manager. Manager talks to other people and their peers, and HR gets involved. So the more the touch points, the more easy it is that when the time comes, and you don't even have to ask for it because you have been talking about this conversation for such a long time, that it's a given. This is the way I would approach it. I tend to be more proactive. I don't like being very reactive because it's not always viewed as the right way, and it also leaves you frustrated. Okay, good luck, Aisha. I hope this helps you. Fantastic. Did I miss something by Risto? Hi, Tina. Thanks for being here. All right, fab. Cool. Let's move on to the next. Good morning, Kevin. How are you in Texas? I hope you're nicely moved into your new place. Vipin, let me come back to you. Yeah, how do you tackle this question? Yeah, we talked about this as well. Oh, I love you guys sharing pets. Amazing. Abhishek is saying, can we negotiate on the notice period and exit policies? Everything is negotiable, Abhishek. It's all on the table. You got to pick and choose. You can't get everything. but you can get a few things. So I would take it. I would ask, what's the worst that'll happen? They say no. That's okay. That's okay. If you don't ask, the answer is no. Okido. I'm feeling a bit ridiculous with my hat, but I've reached a point where I care less because I'd rather that you don't see what's under the hat. You know what I mean? Hi, Dana. How do you explain being terminated at the beginning of the pandemic? I went to work and developed a headache. Nothing happened until after the weekend. I was then let go due to safety issue. I'm not sure I follow. Dina, are you saying that, first of all, I don't know why I see this language all the time, everywhere. I was terminated. You weren't terminated. You weren't terminated. Your contract was terminated. It's not funny. Language matters and words matter. You weren't terminated. Nobody can terminate you except when it's the end of, end of the world. Yeah, end of the life, end of the chapter. That's terminated. Anyway, I don't think you have to explain in such level of detail, Dina, because at the beginning of the pandemic, there were so many contract terminations that everything was easily understood. You were let go because of the pandemic, because of safety issues. That's it. I looked like I was, I looked like I was expressing some symptoms, and they decided, for the larger safety concerns, they decided to terminate it. I would just keep it that. I wouldn't even think about it too much, right? Hi, LinkedIn user. Thank you for being here. Identify yourself so I can call your name out and say hi. So let me come back because I'm seeing a few a few questions from the same people. So I just want to make sure that I give others a chance as well. So I think I had Vipin earlier and then Abhishek. So Dina, just as a follow-up to what she was saying, I saw due to the pandemic. Yeah, exactly. And it was 3 years ago and it was at the height. Anything that happened in 2020 is a lot easier to explain than during peaceful times. You know what I mean? So for sure. Hi, Priyanka. You've been in sales and moved to recruitment after 8 years. If you think about it, recruitment and sales are very similar. And went through various interviews. Organizational talked about recruitment experience only. They didn't consider my previous experience into the package. What's your expert opinion? I think your overall work experience matters. It matters because you have so many transferable skills that you brought with you when you were working in sales and you moved it into recruitment. I would not treat you as a new grad who's got and I would not disregard this experience that you brought with you. I wouldn't do it. So I don't quite follow. I don't quite follow that thinking process. All right. So good luck with everything. Hi, Narendra. I got 18 years of experience in IT, from developer to senior manager, all this stuff. Cool. Amazing. I'm looking for roles in UK and Europe, permanent based positions. My current affiliation may not have the probability for me to achieve this goal. What does that mean, my current affiliations? Are they actively hiring? Yeah. So lots of things are going on. See, in the UK or in Europe, if they're going to bring someone from outside, first of all, they have to ensure that all positions are advertised at the government level so that people can see within the company. If they can't get anybody within the company, they have to show that they can't get anybody within the company. Internal mobility is important for them. If they can't get people internally within the company, then they're going to advertise outside within the country. If they can't get anybody within the country, they're going to try as much as possible within Europe. And for a position, for someone to be brought in, and I'm not talking about within, like intra-company transfer. I'm not talking about like a Accenture Delhi to Accenture, I don't know, Luxembourg. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about outside your company. For them to do that, it's a pretty big deal. And you can understand why. Because they want to protect as much as possible local jobs. So it is harder, not impossible, but it is harder to get a job outside your company in a different location because you need to ensure that you have certain skill sets and you position them at a very high level so that people are like, yeah, we need to get this person on board. One of the easiest ways, if you really want to get a position outside, is take up a 1 year program or something if you can afford it. I highly recommend this. This is what I did. Study abroad. And then after studying, look at the program, look at how much support is given at the end of the program to find opportunities to work in that target location. The other way to do this is within your same company, get a transfer. That is much easier. And the visa and the paperwork, etc., is much easier as well. So good luck with everything. I have a detailed video that I have to it needs to come out. It's been sitting in my archives for months. I've had so many issues with YouTube editors. I think I finally found a good editor. And this should be out soon because I'm very far behind on my YouTube channel. And I have a video which is already filmed, everything is done, and the topic is how to get a job abroad. And it's much longer and I get into more level of detail there. So hopefully that will be out soon as well. All right, good luck with everything, Narendra. Hi, Anjali. I want to start my career after a break of about 14 years, and I had 3 years of experience in marketing, and I don't want to continue in this area. Okay, Anjali, I'm so happy that you want to, you've decided you want to get back and get your career again. There is so much that I can talk about on this that we're not going to get time on today. What I highly recommend you do is I have a very detailed, like a 16-minute video on exact steps. It's a 7-step process. No, it's a 5-step process called PAUSE, PAUSE, on one of my YouTube videos. It's a long time ago. It was from 2019. So go and find that. If you can't find it, DM me. Send me a message on LinkedIn. I'll send it over to you. And I would start there because I get into nitty-gritties that I'm not going to be getting into today. But it's definitely possible. So many people have done taking a break in their career and then got back in their career. And it doesn't really matter if you're in your 30s or 40s. It comes down to just not giving up on that. And there's some people who became really successful later in life, right? Tina Turner, J.K. Rowling. I did a whole episode on, I think, one of my birthdays on Supercharged Fridays. The topic literally was about age and how actually we get better with time. And something like taking a career pause doesn't define us. It just makes you stronger. And if one of the reasons you took a break was for your children, we got to showcase how being a parent actually makes you a better worker. And for something like this, Anjali, if you can afford it, I highly recommend working with a coach because you're not going to have all these things coming into your mind easily. You don't have that level of objectivity, neither does your partner. It would have to be with a coach who sees things that you don't and shows you a mirror. So definitely first check that video out at the end of the live stream when I'm finished. If you can't find that video, it's from 2019 on my YouTube channel. If you can't find it, please send me a DM on LinkedIn and I'll send it over to you. So good luck with everything. All right. Good luck. Hi, Brian. Once you receive an offer at a senior level executive corporate dream job, ooh, what a mouthful. I love that. You've been interviewing for, do you typically start to fine-tune negotiations for salary and benefits? Or with HR? And in either case, do you have tips on how to ask for more salary and benefits? To me, it's kind of like haggling in a market for the yeah, so lovely. I love this question, first of all. So oh my gosh, where I've lost your, I think I'm a little bit behind. Brian, there's so much on salary negotiation. If you haven't already seen, check out my YouTube channel. I give literally strategies, tactics, and scripts away in all these videos. Send me a DM if you want a specific type of video. I will even tell you in which order to watch, but I literally have a playlist on salary negotiation. There's like 7 or 8 videos only on salary negotiation. Highly recommend, rather than Netflix or Amazon Prime, go and binge watch that playlist. You're going to get so much out of it. There's a freebie in there as well. You're not haggling. You are respecting your value and you're sharing your value with the other person. If you think it's haggling, you're right. If you think it's respecting your value and sharing your value, you are right. Henry Ford, whether you think you can or you can't, you are right. I definitely think you have leverage when you have an offer on the table. It is definitely the right time to be talking. And if you don't know who to ask, whether it's the hiring manager or HR, I would just simply say, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. I'm so excited to work here. I'm going to take this and study this in detail, and I'll be coming back with questions. Just as a clarification here, who should be my point of contact? To whom should I be addressing these questions? And then ask, should it be, I doubt it'll be the hiring manager, because hiring managers don't always have a preview on salaries. They're not supposed to, right? It's very rare that hiring managers know all the salaries, unless the company is a very transparent company and is very bohemian, everybody knows everything. It usually is the HR person or the recruiter, right? So good luck with that. I'm excited, and send me a note on LinkedIn if you still need help with like which video, etc. Hi, Rajni. Please suggest something about applying for jobs successfully abroad from your home country. Right. We talked about that just now, a couple of minutes ago. If you're just joining me, Rajni, go and catch the replay. And I'm sure that'll help you as well. Is it a right idea to get and solve any argument between two of your best colleagues? I don't know, Shubham. I don't like getting involved. There's some people who feed on politics and drama. I'm not one of them. I like watching it from far away. I can get my popcorn and I'm like amused. I don't want to be that person inside. I don't know. It's not worth it for me. I want to pick my battles, and life's too short. It is not a question of right or wrong. It's about what your preference is. So, irrespective, Dana, I don't care. Doesn't matter. And plus, it was 3 years ago, and times were different. You didn't report that you had a headache. No, no problem. That's okay. And whether you were fired in like the Donald Trump sense, you're fired, like The Apprentice, or whether it was, redundancy, restructuring, I don't think those details matter. And they are not even you're not even explaining that in the resume. So it shouldn't even be like, if that comes up in an interview conversation, you can say, yeah, there were some terminations there because of health and safety reasons. Finished. End of story. I would really not think twice on it. All right. Good luck. Hi, LinkedIn user. How does one move to the CXO level, somehow get stuck at the director, senior director, and find it difficult? This is such a good question. This itself deserves its own Supercharged Fridays. So in the interest of time, right, I'm going to be answering this pretty quickly because I see that I'm actually pretty far behind. Oh, good Lord. And I have to catch up on the other things. It comes down to playing a little bit the game that needs to be played. That does not mean politics in a dirty sense, backstabbing, icky, and all of that stuff. At that level, if you already are a director, senior director, you already have proved yourself. People already know that you're really good at what you do. It's about showcasing that to the people who have decision-making ability and having those relationships. So those are the champions and the sponsors. They put their money where their mouth is. They're not just in private, like great mentors and all of that. You need to have people who will advocate for you, and you're not the only one advocating for yourself. Because if you say you're great, sure. If someone else says you're great, it's even more credible. If 2 people say you're great, that's amazing. If 5 people say you're great, that's persuasion. You have to keep your mouth shut. So that takes time, takes practice, and a little bit of stroke of luck, right place at the right time. It also means, putting up your hand for the more visible projects that maybe need a little bit more time, but are going to be seen by the right circles. I think who you surround yourself with matters. So there's much more to this. These are the first few things that came to mind. Thank you, Dina. Hi, I've been in a new role, I guess, for the past 5 months, and I'm in good terms with the manager. That's amazing. I got an opportunity with my previous employer and agreed to that, and now I'm feeling guilty. How do I convey that the new job is near to my native, better salary, better profile? I think you need to be selfish, dude. I mean, no one is going to think about things like your family, closer to home, better profile, better money, closer to hospitals. Who's going to care about this except you? So you have to put your needs above others. And please remember that when it comes to companies, and there are 3 people in front, and something happened and they take one, and 3 months later, 4 months later, there's a restructuring, do you think they hesitate to let you go? I don't think we need to be using emotion for these type of decisions. We need to use logic and ration. Loyalty, I mean, I don't know. This is a personal thing. I am loyal to people. I'm not loyal to companies. I'm loyal to people. So yeah, I mean, it's not nice because the company's been great to you, but you need to do what's right for you. And you know, it's not great for them because they spent a lot of time, bringing you in, training you, all of that stuff. I had a podcast guest who went through something similar. Suzanne, good Lord, what's her last name? The evil HR lady, Suzanne. Oh my God, my brain. You'll find it. Go to How I Got Hired, Suzanne, and put my name. You'll find it. If you don't, send me a message. And we talked about this. And how did she approach it, and how did she talk about this with her manager? It was a very teachable moment. So you can definitely get some ideas there as well. All right. Hi. Is there anyone hiring? You're available to relocate. Good luck. Good luck with you. Good luck to you. Hi, Moses. I wish to expand my expertise by applying for a master's program. You want to apply for a master's program? See if your employer can sponsor it. It'll make you better at what you do. And if they're gonna give you another contract, smaller offer due to project size, what do you want to do? I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I never tell you what to do in this place. I'll give you perspectives, but what do you want to do? There's so many advantages of doing a master's. There's a contract. Do you want to do that contract? Does it get you excited? Go where your instincts are leading you. Where is it leading you? Right? Hi, Red Panda. Give you an appraisal on your current salary. Will not current. Okay, I'm not quite sure. I'm following you, Red Panda. Because are you addressing this to me? Or are you addressing this to someone else? Satnam. I don't know who's Satnam. Satnam, this side. Oh, that's you. Okay. My manager is leaving the existing organization and asking me to join him in the new place. Okay. However, my appraisal is due in the current place next month, but your manager is putting pressure, I guess. We will give you your appraisal in the current salary. We will not consider your appraisal in the existing organization. Oh, you're supposed to be promoted. Ask your new boss. Ask your current boss that you're expecting a promotion in this company. When they hire you, can they hire you at the same level as that promotion? At the same level of pay and the same title and all of that stuff? I would do that. I would use it as a negotiation, something in my arsenal. I would definitely take advantage of it. And please don't let anybody put pressure. Nobody can force you to do something. Either you do it or you don't do it, but don't let anybody push you around, okay? And apply pressure tactics. So good luck. When is the right time to reveal your current salary? Okay, we talked about current salary right at the start of this LinkedIn Live, of this Supercharged Friday. So when I'm done, go back and watch the replay. I think it was within the first 6 minutes after the hello and the hi and the welcome. So you'll definitely get a lot of answers. In the interest of time, I'm not going to be repeating that. How do you negotiate in the 90-day notice period? If there's one question I get every single week is this one. So why do they have a 90-day notice period? They want to make sure that my young things are happening and things continue. And nothing is left unfinished. So if you can showcase that you can do your work quicker and a replacement is hired quicker, you can, have initiative in that process as well. And promise that you'll be able to, that things won't fall apart. That's what they care about, right? So obviously there are many different ways to do it. How you negotiate matters as much as what you negotiate. So you have to be reasonable. It's a little bit of give and take on both sides. Simplistic answer here. Hi, what if you have cleared all the technical interactions of the interview and you're nearing the HR round and the compensation discussions, and then notice a role which falls into the next level of hierarchy compared to the role I'm being screened for? It's similar, except it's a couple more years experience. I have gone over and beyond the role. Okay. at this point. Good luck, Brian. Do you recommend a coach in the US? Oh, I recommend lots and lots of friends of mine who are coaches. What are you looking for, Alina? I'll definitely have some friends. Raise your hand and say, I noticed this role as well. Is this open? Because I have a feeling that maybe there are certain skill sets of mine that might be better suited. Use language like that. It doesn't hurt. If the answer is no, it's no. At least you tried, right? At least you brought this up. In spite of my best efforts, I have lost the job various times. Anupam, I'm so sorry to hear this. When you say lost your job, meaning you were asked to leave or whatever, can you give me some little bit more context here? Because I don't know. I don't know how to answer this without this information. Suzanne Lucas! Paula, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody's alert at 7 a.m. in you see what's happening to me? I know you live in a place which starts with M, and it's not Missouri, it's not Michigan, it's Wisconsin, not M, it's the upside down M, Wisconsin. Hi, Paula. Paula was on my LinkedIn Live about a month ago, not a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and we talked about how do you feel less anxious just before you are called for an interview, a job interview. She gave some amazing tips. Catch that, like if you haven't seen that Supercharged Fridays of mine, definitely see that. Paula's amazing. Good morning, Christine. How are you? I'm gonna go back and catch the questions. There were a couple of other questions that are that I didn't answer because they were from the same person. So I'll check that out. Hey Satnam, good luck with everything. You were asked to leave. It's okay, Anupam. It's okay. I mean, I've been asked to leave 3 times. You're not alone. I'm releasing a podcast episode today with a fellow career coach called Alan Stein in New York. He's been through this 5 times, and he's worked at companies like Google, Facebook, American Express, Amazon. Amazon? Did he work in Amazon? Google, Facebook. I remember it was like the triage, right? So Google, anyway, all these big names. And sometimes things don't work out. That's okay. You got to focus on the future. And it's not that, oh, this keeps happening to me. You also make sure that when you are hired, that you select the right companies. And during interviews, you see it's not just them selecting you, you are also selecting. Is there a match or not? Because you may not even realize that every time you say yes and you sign the contract, you are going into a cesspit of politics and dirt and toxicity. I don't know. So it's question of more learning about yourself. I have these 4 pillars, and my first pillar is related to career clarity. Career clarity is very important. What are you strong at? What are you good at? What do you want? What do you not want? What are your VMVs, vision, mission, values, all of that? When we know ourselves better, we are in a better position to decide how to go further. If we don't know ourselves better, we say yes to everything. There's much more to this, but hopefully that'll be something that will give you something to think about. Hi, Elaine. Career pivot, changes, feeling lost in my current position, investing time going back to college for certification. Aline, that's really cool. So I do this. I have a group coaching program that starts at the end of June. And I also have individual. So if you specifically want someone in the US, there's so many, I can, I'll go back and see your comment, and I'll tag a few names of people who are really good at this and what they do. If they have to be based in the US, there's about at least 5 or 10 names of people. So if anyone's watching me, and if you are a friend of mine and you know some of those names, feel free to tag them. So I would say start out with people like Sarah Johnston, Virginia Franco, Tegan Bartos. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. Niatu. It also depends, because everyone has a certain specialization. Sometimes people work with a certain type. You'll get a lot of help. And I'm glad, Elaine, I'm glad you're asking for help, because it's not easy to ask. And you're doing this right here publicly online. So congratulations. Well, I'm sure great things are in store for you. So good luck with everything. I can always come back to you and give you more names. Just let me know in the comments. Do you have some tips on navigating toxic managers? Hmm. Very good. Very good question. So I think I had this question last week as well. I will share. This is the thing I shared last week as well. I brought on a very senior leader in India, and we talked about toxic relationships, and there's so many tips he shared. And one of the things he shared was speaking and finding the right moment and speaking with that person, because that conversation, that meeting will tell us a lot if we want to invest something in this relationship, in this job, in this company, or we don't. And we have to be careful that we use language like I. This is something that I have been thinking about for some time, and I'd like to address this. And not, you are so awful, you do this to me, you hurt me. Like, this is something that left me hurt. This is something that I wanted to share with you because I found it very difficult. So it's more about that. When we do that, it does keep emotions out of the thing. It's not about making it's definitely about raising and speaking, raising your voice and speaking up, but not in a public sort of way. And we wash all the dirty linen in public. That's really not my style. That's not how I teach things. It's more about with the person, the perpetrator, who's made it difficult for you, right? I wouldn't leave it as is. And if you see that it's not going anywhere, maybe that will give you clarity on whether you want to stay or not. And if that person has a history of being like this with others, you might have to talk to someone like HR or something. You might have to, right? And if it's not going anywhere and that person has a secure future, then the writing may be on the wall for you that there's no other choice except out. But don't jump the gun. Don't skip those steps. All right. I've read the benefits of differentiating your LinkedIn profile. About me, for sure. What else to do besides accomplishments and brief summary to improve your profile visibility? Yeah, all of this. Why you? Why now? Why no one else? A little fun fact about you. All of that stuff that somebody would like to read. Just make sure above the fold, the first 2-3 lines are interesting, that there's a hook. But before we even get to the about section, you've got to make sure your picture, your banner in the background, as well as the headline are also attractive. Because about section, nobody reads first. First, people see those 3 things on top. So that has to be immediately when a company recruiter sees it, they're like, this is the person for me. You got to make sure you use the keywords for which you are being hunted. You want to make sure you use the keywords that you want to be hunted for. It starts with that, as opposed to just your title, current title. A current title may not necessarily be the exact target title. So, hi Shailesh. Yeah, lots of companies. Check out so many job boards. Check out LinkedIn, check out Indeed, check out all the local job boards in your country as well. Add your story. There's so much you can do, for sure. Hi Priyanka. So if there's a couple of people who asked something in the beginning and you still here, if you don't mind, can you rewrite your comment, just copy paste it so that I don't have to go back up, because I'll have to go back up quite a bit. And I want to make sure I answer your comment before I let you go. All right. Hi Priyanka, what is the scope for a non-programming, non-engineering candidate for remote jobs abroad? Can't really say. You gotta, I think, to get a feel for this, you gotta test the market and see what's out there. When it comes to remote jobs, people still want them to be in the same country, because otherwise it becomes outsourcing or offshoring. That's a very different outlook for them because of taxes and all of that stuff. So remote jobs tend to be within the same country. That's what I have seen. But obviously, check out, there's so many new things that have come up, particularly post-pandemic. Like if you just do a simple Google search, remote jobs near me, there'll be something like remotejobs.com, or there'll be some websites that just specialize in remote jobs. You'll get an idea, and if there are any of them which can be performed from another country. Hi, Sylvia. Oh, thank you, Sylvia. I'm happy you're here. Thank you. Grazie. Thank you. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, Cool. Alina, just reach out to me. Send me a DM, connection request on LinkedIn, because I don't think we're connected. Can I tell you how I know we're not connected? You're appearing as Aline D. If you were a first degree connection of mine, you'd be appearing as Elaine full name. So how can you rectify this? In your LinkedIn profile, in your settings and privacy, make sure you appear as picture, first name, last name. Who is this visible to? Everyone. There'll be a globe there. Make sure it's visible to everyone, because anyone and everyone in the public should be able to see what your full name is. Unless you're doing this for privacy reasons, but why would you be on LinkedIn, right? So there's a good chance you didn't know this, so you can rectify this right away. You're welcome. All right. Okay. Nitin, I think I'm going to take this question last. I just lost my job offer due to dual employment issues, which was detected during background verification checks. So what does that mean? Nitin, you were doing 2 jobs at the same time and they didn't like it, so they rescinded the offer. I'm sorry, but it's not that surprising, unfortunately, to be honest, because many companies do not allow dual employment. You did not know this. You can say that you didn't know this and then leave it. You know, if it's unforgivable for some companies, too bad. And if they are willing to give you a chance, sure. But you know, there's some people that say no, but it's obvious and they didn't know this, and maybe there's an old school mindset and they don't like to think twice. Then it's too bad. I'm sorry that this happened, but now you know, right? And it's never too late. Better late than never when it comes to these things. All right, thank you for tuning in, guys. I hope this has been helpful. We covered so much in these 40 minutes. I was expecting 15-20 minutes. You see, this is what happens when I gab a lot, but I really appreciate the participation. And if you found this useful, give me a like. Give me a like wherever you're watching, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and share this with someone. You know, there's a specific question that was asked that you know a friend is currently struggling with and needs help with. Share this with that person. So this is helpful. And I'm always live here every single Friday at the same time. So I don't always respond to, like, there's hundreds of comments on YouTube asking for specific, not able to respond, but this is the time to do it. And if you're in a position where you're like, not sure I can get help right now, for whatever reason, I can't afford to buy a digital coaching, take advantage. This is free and always will be. And it's specifically meant to meet you where you are. So yeah, good luck with everything. And I shall see you at the same time next Friday here on Supercharged Fridays. Have a lovely Friday and weekend.